It's me, oh Lord, standing in need of prayer. It's me, oh Lord. Remember that song?
Standing in the need of prayer.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Life and Gear podcast, where truth leads to joy and adventure. I'm your host, Justin. I am here with Ken.
Hey, good to see you, Justin.
What's up? You look so good right now.
That's because I'm head on a diet for a week and I feel great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Actually, I'm so hangry right now, so let's just get this thing going.
Yeah, we're going to get going. Dude, what have you been up to?
We are coming into the fall. I mean,
Yes.
we're actually now in the winter. There is, for the first time here in Montana, there's snow in the winter.
Yeah.
Or snow in the forecast is what I meant to say. And
First time in Montana, there's snow in the forecast.
No, let me start over. For the first time in the forecast, there is snow.
Okay.
Here in 2022, in this November. So I'm pumped about that. And in fact, I posted a picture on social media today that rain is just a wasted opportunity for snow.
Oh, I completely disconcur.
I love
rain.
snow. That wasn't even planned.
I know.
Oh
We're
my
nerds.
goodness, we are in sync.
We just got done with Halloween and Sugar Quest here at the church. That was a blasty blast.
Oh man, we had so many kids come through and just awesome costumes, and it was just, I think if you've never experienced Canvas Church, it's fun, and that's one of the things people say. They come to church and like, wait, like they don't even know that they're allowed to have fun in church. And I'm not just talking Sugar Quest. I'm just talking every weekend. Lots of laughter and fun, and then life change too. But so it was just fun seeing everybody smiling coming in and laughing on the way out.
So much fun. And even the weeks leading up to it, we had extra fun. We had dragons on stage at one point.
Oh, that was hilarious. And that fire coming out. You didn't tell me that was going to happen. And I'm sitting down on the front row. And this fire it scared the tar out of me.
Oh, you're going to sneeze. Oh, here it is.
That felt great.
If you're on YouTube, hopefully we can punch in and show that. He's got another one. Bless you, my child.
Okay, this microphone needs disinfected.
Hey, I was thinking about Sugar Quest since we just came out of Halloween. Yeah. And for people on YouTube, I thought it'd be fun for us to have a Warhead contest. Have you ever done this before?
No.
So these are super sour, and the contest is you have to suck on these without making a face.
While we're doing the podcast?
We're gonna, it goes away quickly.
You did not tell me about this ahead of time.
I didn't.
And what flavor is this?
This is the sour apple. This is the most sour flavor that they make for it.
So are you doing this to like get people to go watch on YouTube?
Yeah, definitely.
That is awesome. Give me one.
All right, here you go.
So, and what if it's like I can't do the podcast with this in my mouth?
You'll be fine.
Okay.
Just be a man about it.
Okay, so when do we start?
We're gonna start right now.
Okay.
So here's the contest. We cannot make a sour face.
Oh, we just have to keep going.
We have to just keep going.
So the watcher, the listener, I don't know what they're called on you, the YouTuber, they're watching our faces to see if we are making faces.
And I'm sure Daniel, who's editing these, he'll probably like punch in and like make fun of us and stuff like
and
that.
If you see it, put it in the comments at the time.
Yeah, let's see who gives us sour
I'm all in on this right now.
Okay, you ready? Here
1, okay, 2, 3. Okay, what are we talking about today?
That's
It's going to be hard.
so sour. Your face, you already lost.
No, I haven't. That was a warm-up. We begin now.
Speaking of candy, the other day I chipped my tooth.
Oh.
Have you ever chipped your tooth?
I don't even know if I can talk. I lose. I just...
Dude, I'm getting... Your face right now.
I'm chewing it.
Oh, you're just giving up on it.
No. My eyes are watering. Is mine different than yours?
No, we have the same ones. Look at it.
Oh,
same ones.
I'm over the super sour part.
Anyway, dude, I chipped my tooth.
This is the first. I'm gonna come to your tooth in a minute. This is the first piece of Halloween candy I've had all Halloween.
Oh, really?
Only one.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's the worst piece I could have possibly had.
You're welcome. Oh, it's the saddest thing.
So tell me about your chipped tooth that as I chew this hard candy.
Yeah. This is it's a confession moment for me. Mm-hmm. I pride myself on my teeth. I go in for my 6-month cleaning, hoping that the dental hygienist doesn't have to actually clean anything off my teeth.
Oh my goodness! You brush once a day, twice a day,
2 to 3 times a day.
2 to 3. Do you brush your teeth in the middle of the night when you get up to go to the bathroom?
No, I don't do that.
Okay, my wife does, but I'm not supposed to tell anybody that.
Okay, well, we just told a lot of people that.
Not very many people watch podcasts. We're okay. I'm just joking. She doesn't even watch it, I don't think. Okay, keep going.
But so it's a big thing for my teeth, right?
Yeah.
And then the other day, we're leaving a restaurant. I'm eating a mint.
What restaurant?
Casa Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm grabbing mint and I'm chewing on it. And I like...
Oh, they're mints. I like them.
Yeah. Like I was like sucking on it and then I like chewed on it. Well, then it felt like I had something stuck in my tooth, so I was like picking at it. And I looked in the mirror and I have a chip in my tooth. Look at this.
See? I don't even see it.
You don't see it right there in the front?
No.
Right there.
In that Oh my word! I am so sorry for even if you have YouTube and zoom in, you probably won't notice that. But I feel for you because the tongue magnifies everything in the mouth.
It's so bad.
So I bet your tongue just keeps going back there and keeps going back there and keeps going back there.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, it is going there right now.
Totally.
Yeah, I can see. My candy's gone, by the way.
Oh, good for you. I still got mine.
Yeah. Whoa!
I definitely won that one.
Oh, you dominated that. Yeah. You're also. I'm just give you a shout out. Because we're talking about saving time in this podcast. You are dominating in our fantasy football league.
Thank you.
You are undefeated.
Thank you.
You are personally going for a record. You want to win. The record in our league is 12 games undefeated or one in a row, and you're going to try to beat that. And you have a team to do it right now.
So far, yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm trying to, it's hard because what I've learned is I used to get cocky when I would have even a 2 or 3 game win streak. And I would overlook teams. And now I'm just like, I can't do that. I just got to stay focused.
It also helps that you're out of school.
It does.
Yeah, you got time on your hands. You see what I just did right there?
Yeah,
you got time on your hands.
But we all live a busy life.
We all live
we got
a busy
some great
life.
things to learn here.
Come on.
So let's talk about some time and how do we spare time?
Well, how do we spare time? I'm going to give you, I think this podcast is going to be time to spare.
Okay.
In fact, while you're listening to this, here's a gift I have for you. I think if you follow the information we're going to give in this podcast, this is a big statement, Justin.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gifting you 8 to 10 hours back into your week. That's a whole work day.
You legit, this is like a stamp it. If you do this, you get 8 to 10 hours back in your week.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how much I believe this.
Okay, I'm listening because I could definitely use 8 to 10 more hours.
I live a busy life. Everyone is busy. Everybody busy. I live a busy life.
Yeah.
And so really what I want to do today is talk about margin, how to have margin in your life. You know what margin is? And I'm not talking about the butter. No. Because I was talking to my daughter about this last night and I said, you need to have margin, honey. And she's like, what's margin? And I'm like, it's the white space around the paper that you write.
Right.
And I always have to have a 1-inch margin on my life should have a 1-inch margin.
Yeah, I like that.
And people aren't living with 1-inch margins. We're living from extreme to extreme, especially, that's an American way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk about how to have margin in your life. I'll give you a great guy a great example who got this. And that is, I got to drink something because my mouth is so plasticky from that candy.
Guzzle, guzzle.
I feel like we have a lot more freedom when we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
Too. And if you're just listening to this podcast, you're not missing too much. Okay. You're just missing our faces and our fat rolls. They came out too fast. Martin Luther, amazing man. Not Martin Luther King and not Martin Luther Jr. Martin Luther.
Okay.
Martin Luther was a guy busy preacher, kind of a guy. And he would pray an hour every morning. Mm-hmm. And on busy days, he was recorded as saying, when the day was busy, I'd pray 2 hours. Yeah. That was a significant, I heard that years and years ago, and it's always stuck with me. And so I thought, man, there's something about time management that is so important to you. In fact, I'm going to give you, if you listen to this podcast, we're going to go 10 things, and then I got a bonus. I'm going to give you 8 to 10 hours. That's I think you're going to like this one. Mm-hmm. That's like watching the extended edition of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings every week. That's a lot of time. That's 8 hours right there, 9 hours. So are you ready to jump into this?
I'm dying to know.
Well, get this. There's only 24 hours in a day. And we're not going to get more.
Oh, man.
So how do we get more? Here's the number one. And I think this first one I'm going to say, you're going to go, But here it is. Point number one. You got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Take care. That means you got to eat right. Hard. It's difficult.
Stupid.
You got to sleep right. I've said this in the podcast before. I'm an 8 hours a night person.
Yeah.
8 hours a night. Not more, not less. More is a waste.
Yeah.
Less is not wise. You got to take care of yourself. When you take care of yourself, you're going to actually find more time in the day. We see this every time you get on an airplane. And they talk about the masks.
Yeah.
And the masks fall down and you're traveling with a child. Justin, what do you do first?
You put the mask on the child first.
And no, you don't do that. What do you do for you? You totally got me. I was like, yes, no. Well, what do you got me? I bought it, line and secret. What do you?
You forgot the hook as well.
What do you do? What do you do?
You put it on yourself first.
Why?
Because you have to take care of yourself first.
When you take care of yourself, you will be available to take care of others. I think if you're a mom, this is the hardest thing for you out there because you are taking care of your kids all of the time and you're aware of their needs and you're aware of what they need to have done. And then you're taking care of all the laundry and then you're doing this and doing that. And you know who's the lowest priority?
You.
And that becomes unhealthy.
Yeah.
And over time, that becomes to wear you down. And their kids need you to be healthy.
Yeah.
And so, or if you're a working lady or a working man, and if you're a parent, you're not. But you're going, and you're not eating right, and you're not sleeping right. You have an expiration date that's getting sooner and sooner because you just can't maintain it.
Yeah.
And so I think if you want more time in your day, I know this sounds counterintuitive because what I'm going to say is spend more time on you. I don't have the time. Right. No, you will have the time if you start by taking care of yourself.
Yeah. And as all things that we say on this podcast it's always in moderation. Don't just completely focus on you. So often we're in America right now. Everyone's like, okay, I'm just taking care of me now. You told me to take care of me.
Right.
Here it's all about me.
That's not healthy.
Everything's
either.
in balance.
No, everything is in balance. I think that then the second point, so the first one there, you've got to take care of you. It will give you more time. It's counterintuitive, but it's true. The second one then is gift yourself more time.
Yeah.
What do I mean by that one?
How do you do that?
You can, you ever had those times where you start late? Are you chewing your candy right now?
I just chewed it off.
I heard a cry. I hope you don't chip a tooth. I almost said I hope you do, but no, I don't. You ever had those days where you start and your first meeting of the day is like 5 minutes late and then you play catch up all day long?
All day.
Yeah. Well, that's because
worse and worse. It's a
it does.
Effect.
And it's boom, boom. That's why I never, by the way, personally do a doctor's visit. I never plan it at the end of the day. I always plan it at the beginning of the day.
Oh, the doctor, because you'll be on
at an appointment or dentist. I don't do them. Why? Because they run late. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it early in the day, even if I have to wait a week, because it's going to be best time management for me. Well, here's the deal. Don't set your schedule up that if you're 5 minutes late, it ruins the rest of your day. Build in like 30 minutes into your appointments of slack time.
Yeah.
It's not a waste of the time. You're probably going to use some of it, but you're not going to run late, and you need that breathing time between. And if you will just naturally build in 20 to 30 minutes of every appointment that you're scheduling, that could be travel time, that could plan extra beyond that 20 to 30. Here's what will happen. At the end of the day, you'll look at your calendar. It will be it'll be full, and appointments will be able to be bumped that you can do on a later day and not cram into all one day and not get it done. It gives you time to breathe. Yeah. So if you want more time in your day, you got to start by giving yourself time.
Well, I like what you said, and maybe you're going to hit on this later. I don't even know, but talking about building time into your appointments, a lot of us don't have appointments. We don't build schedule. I mean, we have like appointments for like doctors and stuff. Yeah. But it's critical, especially if you're going to be at home a lot. Say you're at home 4, 5, 6 hours a day.
Come on.
Schedule what that day looks like in that time, in that day. Even though you're planning on being home, we always have stuff that we plan to do. Build in, I'm going to do laundry for an hour and a half. I'm going to do the dishes for 45 minutes, whatever that is, and build that schedule out, and you'll get used to looking at your calendar.
That routine is powerful. Yeah. I don't have routine in here, but what you're talking about, routine, is powerful. Yeah. And if you give yourself blocks of time to do it, you will. Otherwise, you'll just think you're going to do it all day and not get it done. And then what is your statement? I ran out of
time.
No, you didn't run out of time. You just didn't plan your time. So that is give yourself time. 20 minutes every meeting. or every appointment. Just schedule it a little bit more.
That's good.
Okay? And then point number 3 I have is this is an easy one. Wake up earlier. 20 minutes. Yeah. 20 minutes earlier to wake up. You're going to get out the door earlier. You're going to feel better. Your mind is going to be sharper. Now, it's that 8 minutes of sleep is critical. I just read a report that said Americans spend more time in bed and less time sleeping. And don't take that in a sexual way, because that's not how I'm referring to it. That's not what I was doing. I was trying to figure out what you were saying. Okay, just making sure. Now people are blushing listening to this. But we spend more time laying in bed, probably looking at social media and stuff and watching TV. Yeah. We spend the average American, from my understanding of reading this, is 6 or less hours of sleep, and that's not even healthy. Yeah. And Americans have the best beds in the world. Yeah. Well, but get that 8 hours of sleep, and then if you can do that, don't sleep 9 or 10 hours. Get up 20 minutes early. Get up 30 minutes early, and it will help. You have 20 minutes back in your day. That's part of how you get that 10.
And when you say wake up early, you're just saying don't wake up where you just have time just to get ready. You're saying if you need to get out the door by 8:30 and it takes you half an hour to get up, you're saying get up at 7:30.
Yeah, that's right. If you're out and adjust your schedule so that you get your 8 hours of sleep, 7 hours to 8. That's the recommended. 20 minutes early. I'm going to start 20 minutes early. Maybe I go to bed a little bit earlier. Yeah. But many of us are spending, get this, here's the thing, we're spending way longer than that in bed. We're spending like 10, 11 hours in bed.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not that we don't have time to sleep.
Yeah.
We're wasting our time in bed. So just get up 20 minutes early, and that will adjust your schedule right there.
That's good. So that's number 3.
Yep. Number 4, plan for an emergency. Oh. Because guess what? They happen all the time. Yeah. So leave time in your week for a surprise. Give your time in your calendar time for a surprise. And maybe have an hour that's always open. This is something I try to do in my calendar. I don't try to plan every minute of my day. Now, Tanya might think I do that sometimes because I like to live busy, but I like to have open. Yeah. I like to have flexibility within my calendar that things can shift and change because emergencies are going to happen. And you don't know, today, I had an emergency today. Now, it wasn't my emergency, but someone called me from the hospital or was in the hospital in the ICU, and they needed me to come see them in this moment. And I had flexure in my day. That's cool. To go. Now, I'm going to have to make up for the stuff that I'll make that happen. Yeah. But you have enough flexibility. Why? Because I'm not living toward the deadline. Yeah. I just wrote a 4-page paper in my doctorate. Mm-hmm. It's not due until December, but I had a moment to write, so I wrote. That's cool. I would not have had the flexibility to go do something if I'm not working ahead. Yeah. Being ahead, leads me to point number 5. Being ahead, being proactive more than reactive, helps you have that time for emergency. Yeah. Those two go together. And we talked about that last week or last month in our podcast, How to Live Life Intentionally.
Yeah. I love that idea of proactive and reactive. It's such a life-giving thought process.
It changes the way you view life. Yeah. Yeah. And I think people are still getting their mind around what it means to live life intentionally. Yeah. In that proactive way. Yeah. And instead of I'm reacting to everything. When you're reacting to everything, you're reacting to everybody else's calendar. Yeah. You don't have a calendar. You don't even have a life. No. You're living everybody else's life.
And you end up more stressed.
Oh, you end up frustrated. Yep. Then you end up here's what the ultimate. You end up resentful. You're resentful at everybody because of the sway they have over you. But it's not their fault. Yeah. It's your fault. Yeah. That's brutal.
You have to force that proactivity.
Yeah. So you know how you do that? Live life proactive instead of reactive? I'm going to give you a great resource here. Okay. And then I'm going to share a little bit. You got to slow down life. That's hard. John Mark Comer wrote a great book called The Relentless Elimination of Hurry. Okay. You know, so much of this podcast that we're talking about is counterintuitive. Because it's like, Kevin, I don't have the time to do the things that you're telling me to do. No, that's not true. The reality is you don't have the time to do all the things that you're doing, and this will help you. But John Mark Comer wrote a book on you got to slow down life, and he listed a whole bunch of things on how to get a mental slowdown. Yeah, I'm going to share a few of them. Okay. This is right out of his book. I would encourage you to go get the book. Okay. Many of our staff here have read it. Yeah. And here's what he says. Here's how to start practicing slowing down. Are you playing footsies with me under the table? You just kicked me. So
no, your foot was on my side of the table.
Well, that is true. So okay, here's the first one. Here's what he said. You ready for this?
Yep.
And if you're just listening, just listen to these and maybe pick 1, 2, maybe 3 of them that you're going to apply. Don't do all of them. Here, number 1, he said, drive the speed limit.
I do that, and I get ripped on by our staff for doing that.
Because our staff needs to continue to read and apply this book.
I agree.
I'm rushing everywhere I go. I'm guilty of this. Yeah. This is my takeaway. You know, I'm not perfect at all of these. I'm learning this as I'm sharing it.
So you don't drive the speed limit?
No. And you know what? It creates more stress in my life.
Because you're worried about getting pulled over?
This is one that I'm taking away.
Okay.
But drive, so this is how you live slower, but you get more time living slower. It doesn't make sense because it's counterintuitive.
Yeah.
And that is drive the speed limit. Get into the slow lane is another one that he says. Drive in the slow lane.
Stay there. I feel so good. I feel so validated right now.
Okay, here's another one he said. Come to a full stop at stop signs.
Most of the time for me. You don't. I've ridden with you. It's not even a stop sign for you. It's not even a yield sign for you most of the time.
I got to admit, I suck at the first 3 that I've just said. And that's why I got to get better at it, okay?
I'm proud of you, yep.
Okay. Get in the longest checkout line at the grocery store.
Oh.
That one's hard.
So, okay. So you want to hear a funny story?
Come on.
One time, I was at the checkout line, and I was like, there was one that was shorter, and I always look for the shorter one.
Everybody does.
And I saw this other one over to the left, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to that one. I'm going to just be patient. Good. And I went over there. The person over here got stuck on their item, and the person that came in from behind me, because I was like 2 or 3 deep on this other side, I checked out on that side faster than the person that came in behind me over there.
Very good. Do you play that game every time you get in a line?
Not every time.
I do every time. Every time I get into I drive through the Starbucks drive-through, yeah. I try to look in the window to see if I can beat the person standing. Yeah. Or the other day, I pulled in and I saw what car was in front of me, and then I quickly ran inside and then ran out, checked to see where that car was, make sure I could beat him.
Did you beat him?
Yeah. Why? Because I don't live with an elimination of hurry. I live life hurry. So I wrote this podcast for myself.
Good.
Okay, there you go.
We're all on a journey here.
Show up 10 minutes early for an appointment and don't pick up your phone.
No.
Hard.
Have you done that? Have you tried it yet?
No.
So you've read a lot of this. You've read this book, but we got a.
Well, I'm only having to pick 2 or 3. Okay. So thank you for the first 6. I'm not picking. Okay. Here's the other one.
You said the first 3 you were gonna do.
I'm gonna do the last 3. Here it is. I know I do need to work on slowing down. It would help my heart. It helped my blood pressure. It helped my health. That's going back to number 1. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Ooh, that preaches. Here, I don't know what. We're just reading through these. Turn your smartphone into a dumb phone.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I don't like that one either. Okay.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I don't like that one. I do like this one. I'm not great at it, but parent your phone. Put it to bed before you and make it sleep in. That's a pretty cool a concept there. I'm not good at that. I'm on my phone right up to sleep, and then first thing I do when I wake up is I look at my phone.
Yeah.
So I'm horrible at that one.
Yeah.
So this one I've just started doing 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Set times for email.
Ooh.
I love
really?
This. Yeah. I do it first thing in the morning. I'll do it one time in the afternoon, and then one time in the evening. That's it. The only time I check my email.
It's on your calendar for your email time.
It's so I use the app is called Spark.
Oh yeah. I've used Spark before.
And it sets it up that way for me.
Really?
So it will notify me at those times.
So you don't get the notifications unless you want them.
Exactly. I have it all set up that way. And the new iOS, if you have an iPhone, you can set up, and I just set this up too. You can set up your notifications to only come at a certain times in the day. And so I selected, I just set this up.
That's with your Spark email app, you're saying? Or you're just saying in general?
iOS,
the
new iOS update. So I selected like 133 apps on my phone to only notify me 2 times a day.
Wow.
So I'm not getting notifications all day long.
That's a good job.
So iOS, it's a great feature. That's what I'm taking right there. Pretty excited about it.
I'm very excited for you. Do you want me to be more energetic for you?
No, I was just showing you I'm excited about it. Okay.
Tanya's affirming me right now. Did you feel like I was supposed to be more energetic right there?
Yeah, see, I thought so. She's affirming me. So Tanya can do one thing and affirm everybody at the same time. It's a gift. Okay, I'm going to say this one, walk slower.
I'm okay with that. That's,
you're pretty good. I was going to call you lazy, but that doesn't help this podcast.
Yes.
You're not. It is. It's walk slower. I always tell our staff, walk slowly through the hallways.
And look up.
Yeah, look up and smile.
Yep.
Okay, because the people you're walking by is what we do.
Yeah.
So whatever you're doing, people are the most important task.
I've been trying to do that in public more. Trying to make eye contact with people on purpose, even if I don't know them, and just smile at them.
That's good.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. I call it Walmart hugs. I just walk around and
you take it to the weird level though. I just smile.
I totally take it to the weird level. But then some people look at me and like they know me, but I don't know them. That happens all the time. Yeah. I just live life that I pretend everybody knows who I am and my deep, darkest secrets. And it makes life so much easier to live.
Good thing you don't have deep, dark secrets.
Okay. Another one, take a regular day alone for silence and solitude.
How often?
I am doing this one about once a month, and it's when I work on my Jeep. And sometimes I create issues on my Jeep to work on them. But like I just did this last week, and it was so helpful. And so you're like, Kevin, I mean, like, how do I have the time for that? I don't have the time not to do that.
So that was refreshing.
So I replaced my power steering pump and all of my hoses in my daughter's Jeep. I had no clue what I was doing, but it was so relaxing learning how to do that, taking it apart. Oh, I loved it.
And you had your notifications turned off?
And I had my notifications turned off.
Good job.
Experiment with mindfulness and meditation. This is a big deal. There's a lot of apps out there that will help you with mindfulness. This is all learning to live slower. These aren't even my points. I have more coming. So these are going to be
these are just tips.
Just the tips. I love this one. If you can, take a long vacation. Not a 3-day vacation, not a 2-day vacation. Take a week, a 10-day vacation.
Wow. Because
it causes your... Now, for those of you that can, and I hope that you all are able to at some point, a 10-day vacation once a year gives your mind the opportunity to slow down because it takes 2 to 3 days. You really don't vacation for the first 3 days.
Yeah.
So...
That's so true.
And this last one that we're going to... On how to slow down life, cook your own food and eat in. It's the exact opposite of fast food.
Yeah.
Take your time. So I think those are just some great quick tips. I just threw them all out there. Each one could be its own podcast on how to slow down.
Yeah.
Let me just say this, wrapping this up, and then we're going to go to point number 6, not wrapping up the podcast. Don't get that excited. And that is this. When you slow down life, you actually get more time. You don't lose time.
Yeah.
It's counterintuitive. I keep saying that, but that's part of the secret sauce of this podcast.
Yeah. So that's good.
Number 6, no one's going to do this one, but this is the big one.
Oh, man.
Limit your social media. Yes. One of the biggest suckers of life. In fact, I wrote in my notes, it's the biggest waste of time with no value.
That's so true.
In fact, Justin.
Yes.
I did something to follow in your footsteps because I thought it was so good.
Really?
Yeah. Talk about what you've done with your social media on your phone.
So first of all, I deleted all but 2 social medias off my phone.
Okay. Which ones did you keep?
So I kept Instagram and Be Real.
Okay.
I think we've talked about, maybe it was just at church we talked about Be Real.
Yeah.
Be Real is real simple to control because you only it only gets posted once a day. You go look at it. That one's not an issue. Instagram was always an issue for me. I deleted Twitter. I deleted Truth. I deleted Facebook. I got all of those off my phone. So I just have Instagram. And then what I did was on my iPhone, I used the screen time management on there, and I set myself to 45 minutes a day.
Props to you. That screen time, if you have iOS, I mean, I'm sure Android has another one, but who has Android?
Who cares?
My son just got an Android phone.
Why?
So now he's green in my texts.
Oh, ruins it.
My heart hurts.
I would have a hard time with that.
I'm struggling, but he's 19.
We had a friend of ours who just switched to iPhone so that he wasn't green anymore.
Well, there's a big issue. This is not even related in our podcast, but there's a whole thing now on green bullying that the iOS people are bullying the Android people for being green on there. So there's this.
It's well, we're woke now, so
we're blue.
Yeah.
We're the blue team blue. Come on, green. Okay, now I'm a bully. Okay, so but let's go back to what you were saying. I did the same thing. Yeah. So on my phone, and in fact, if you're on YouTube, you can sort of see it here. I have all of my important apps that I'm going to use on my front page.
Yep.
Then I have currently no social media on my front page. They've all been moved to second or three. Many of them they're on 3.
Yeah.
Because they just suck time and they give nothing back.
I love how you say that, because that's such an important thing. Not only does it suck time, but it gives you nothing back. That's an important part for us to realize about social media.
It gives you back. It gives comparison back, sadness back, FOMO back, resentment back. I like social media.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing it, and it's just getting darker and darker and darker for me. So I just don't, it's not worth it.
It's a useful tool. It just has to be used correctly.
Yeah. So like what I have on my phone currently, when I open up my phone, I'm going on a trip this weekend. I'm going down to, I've been at Canvas for 10 years.
That's crazy.
And the leadership of the church gave me tickets to go see Arizona and Seattle Seahawks play in Arizona.
That's so cool.
And so I have my travel apps on my phone right now, because that's what I'm going to be using the most. So let's go to number 7. I think I mentioned this one, but I'll say it again, because I think I learned this several years ago, and it's been so helpful for me. Touch an email once, twice at the most.
Yeah.
So if you're going to read that email, you have to act on that email.
Yeah.
What we end up doing is reading that email 3 to 5 times ever before we act on it.
Why?
And that is a waste of time, because you just go through, you read it, you ignore it, you think in your mind, I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
But then you come back to it another time. What do? Read that email again,
the whole thing.
and then think, okay, I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
And then what are you do? You're gonna touch that email 4 to 5 times.
That's good. This is a good one for me personally.
So use the snooze feature if you can't act on it right away. Most email things have snooze factors.
Yeah.
And then when you're gonna read it, you got to act on it.
That's good.
And so that's what I do. And I put back in here that Spark email app that I use, that I only check my email 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah.
This is huge for me. It saves me about an hour a day.
That's crazy.
Think of that. An hour.
That's a lot of time.
And that's almost embarrassing.
Social media,
to admit.
limiting your social media is going to save you huge time.
I just limited.
To be honest and they were to look at like how much time they actually spend on social media, they'll be blown away.
I do screen time for all my kids and myself, and I just in the writing of this podcast, I'm going to check on it. I just limited all of my kids down because they were spending too much time on it.
Yeah.
So I just limited all the kids that live in my house. Kids outside of my house, they can do whatever they want. So
I was shocked. That's the reason why I switched. That's why I added that to mine. At one point, I was 3 to 4 hours a day.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? And if I would have sat down and said to you, "You're looking at your social media 4 hours a day," you would have said no.
I would have laughed at you.
Yeah, but it's true.
Yep.
We spend more time on that, and it doesn't give anything of value back.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, these next 3, so simple and practical. Number 8, if in my family, here's what we try to do. It's hard when we don't. Go to the grocery store once a week.
Yeah.
Not every day.
Yep.
Think about the amount of time. And a lot of people go to the grocery store once to sometimes twice a day. Think about the amount of time it takes to drive there, to walk in, to stand in line, to get the stuff, to get back out, to go home. And then you're going to do that next day. You're saving yourself 45 minutes a day. Just going, you know what? So my family, what we try to do, and we noticed that Tiffany and I were talking, she's like, I'm going to the store all the time.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of time. And so we try to shop once a week.
Yeah.
If for smaller families, maybe a family of 4, try to go to the grocery store 2 times a month.
Yeah.
And if you need something, just add it to the list. And when you go, get it then.
That's good.
Another big deal for grocery store is freezer meals. That's a big deal.
Sure.
I know some of Tiffany's friends get together and they do these freezer meal parties. So they put together all of these meals that they can put in the freezer, and they do it. And they have fun doing it together. And then throughout the month, they just pull out a freezer meal and they can warm it up and it's good to go. And I haven't done that. I know Tiffany's done that a couple times, and I've eaten them and they were like, okay. But they're not like a steak or a chicken that I like to put my teeth into. But you can't because you got a chipped tooth. So, but I think that grocery stopping, it's a little thing.
Yeah.
It's part of the cool part of this podcast is there's not just one big chunk.
Yeah.
It's little here, little here, little here, little here. And then all of a sudden, no, you got 8 to 10 hours back in your week.
Yeah.
Number 9, tidy the house before bed.
Yeah.
Not when you wake up.
It's good.
Clean up the kitchen.
You won't do it when you wake up.
And what you do is you feel unmotivated the minute you wake up because you wake up to a messy room.
Yeah.
You wake up to a messy house or a messy bedroom and you're unmotivated and you start feeling defeated.
Yeah.
Okay. If you wake up to a clean house, or even just a tidied house,
yeah.
You're going to be more motivated and more ready to move forward. You already feel accomplished the minute you wake up. That psychological effect is significant for the rest of your day.
I think as we're listening to this, I know for me at least, as we're talking through some of these things, I'm thinking back to when I've had these moments and I'm like, oh yeah, like tidying my house, just my room. When it is like that, I do feel more motivated.
You do.
I do feel these things as we're going through this. So
yes.
I think a lot of us this isn't new information for us, but it's a reminder of when we've had these moments in our life, let's do this on a more consistent basis.
And it works.
Yeah.
Like you just made me think of something that I've been doing just in the last probably 6 months. And this is funny. I'm picking my clothes out the night before I go to bed.
Yeah.
I feel so much more calm getting up. I'm not having to make a bunch of decisions. Weird.
Yeah.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
For some of you, this is the hardest one for you. The power of
no. That's a hard one.
Okay, everyone right now, everyone, I want you, if you're listening to this podcast, I don't care if you're on a treadmill going at speed 4.5, which, first of all, if you're going at speed 4.5, congratulations. That's awesome because I can only hit 2. But
are you talking about like mile per hour?
No, I'm talking like on you push the 1, 2, 3, 4, it goes up to 10.
Okay, so, I don't use treadmills. They're bad for you.
Someone's laughing at me because they're on 6 going, okay. But here's what I do. No matter where you're at, maybe you're driving right now. I want you to practice saying the word out loud. No. Okay, I'm going to count to 3. Maybe you just said it, but I'm going to count to 3. Don't get ahead. You need to slow down in life. I'm going to count to 3, and everybody listening to the podcast is going to say no at the same time, even though it's not the same time. It's like it's at the same time because it's the same time in the podcast. You know what I'm doing right there? Okay. So 1, get ready to go. 2, 3, no. See, you can say it. Like I'm so proud of everybody. You know. You
remind me of what was that guy's name with the bushy hair that was like the fitness guy? Richard Simmons. You
can do it. Sweating to the oldies. You can say no. You just did it. Now, hopefully the timing wasn't bad and your wife just asked you to do something and you said no out loud. That could be a tension, but you can damage that. Here's why. You're happy when you say no.
Yeah.
You don't have to say celebrate when you say no. Have you ever said no to something and then you're at home and you realized, I'm so glad I said no to that?
So many times.
You got to celebrate it. That's a good thing. Yeah. Okay, we don't have to say yes to everything.
Yeah.
You give yourself the gift of time by saying no. I have learned, let me just say that. I am learning.
There you go.
Because I'm a yes person.
Yep.
I love to make people happy and I love to be busy.
Yep.
I am learning the power of no. And maybe that's why I get excited.
Yeah.
Okay, can we do it one more time?
No. See, I said no.
There you go. That wasn't even planned. Oh, that was really good. So, okay, I got one more bonus. I know this is sort of long, but
no, it's okay. We're doing good.
Raise your hand if you learned something. Okay, so here it is. I threw something in there. I wanted action. Okay, here it is.
You really are. What's his name? Richard Simmons.
Come on.
Get your hands up.
Come on. Here's the bonus. This is a bonus, and that is this: only do what you can do. Put people around you that can do stuff for you. You're not taking advantage of them. I love it when people call me and ask me to do stuff. I love to serve. I love to serve people, and people love to serve. So only do what you can do. And if someone else would do that for you, it's on them to say no.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not wrong to ask people. Don't say no for people. Sure. There are many things, like when Tanya became my assistant, she really trained me on how to have an assistant because I wouldn't give her anything.
Yeah.
And she would say, why are you not giving me anything? Why are you doing that what I can do? Right. And I had to relearn to think, and now
she's like, why did I tell him that?
She does everything. She wrote this podcast. It's but I think there is a benefit of, like, your kids. If you have children, they should be doing chores around the house, and they should be doing it right away, all the way with a happy heart. That's obedience, and it's to their benefit and it's to your benefit. So I just think that's the bonus I wanted to throw that.
Dad, you told me to tell you no.
No, they're not. So this is a 16 plus podcast.
They're like, we were listening to Kevin and Justin. They said to say no.
Yeah, well, I'm going to teach you the power of yes, children. That might be the next podcast. So, but I hope that's helpful. I really do think. I know it's a lot of little things, especially that slowing down life, but it's counterintuitive. And when you begin to practice these things, you're going to go, life is not as busy as I thought it was.
Yeah. So you're saying let's let's take a couple of these and work on them at a time. And once we start to get these down, grab a couple more.
Yeah, this is a podcast you listen to more than one time.
Yeah.
Start
this podcast.
Yeah, that there you go. Put it in your favorites and just go listen to it. Go, oh, you know what? Because certain things will hit you differently at certain times. I think of all the CSM students. We have a college here on our campus, and I'll talk to these students, and their line always is I'm so busy.
Yeah.
They're working 20 hours a week at a job, and they're doing maybe 20 hours of school. They're not married. They don't have kids, and they're like, I'm so busy. And I'm like,
I literally laugh out loud when they tell me I'm just so busy. Really?
Yeah.
How old do we sound right now, though?
Oh my goodness, we do sound old.
I remember when I was that kid.
Yeah, but we're not old. I mean, we are. But it's not that we're old. It's that we're wiser because we've lived longer, and there is more time in your day than you realize. We're just wasting so much of it.
Yeah,
and
so good.
There's so much life to live.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Such a good conversation, Kevin. I love it. What do you have? What are we talking about next? What are we doing?
Next month is our Christmas podcast.
Oh my goodness, it is.
It's December.
Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that right now.
No. So guess what we're going to do? Because it comes out at the beginning of December.
Sweet.
I am like, this is a surprise to the entire team because you guys don't even know what the next podcast is.
Don't.
Okay, here it is. I have a friend. And I'm going to interview my friend ahead of time on this podcast. And then I'm going to take my friend's brilliance and I'm going to put into a podcast and share it. They are one of the best gift givers I've ever met in my life. Like, they always give a gift that means so much to the heart.
Really?
And I'm going to interview that person.
Okay.
They don't want to probably come on mic, but I'll talk to them and see if they want. But they're an amazing gift giver. Okay. And like, whenever I need to get a gift for somebody, I consult this individual. They just know how to give great gifts.
Really?
Our December podcast is going to teach you how to give the best gift ever.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Do you know who that person is I'm talking about?
No, I do not know.
Tanya Henson.
Tanya Henson.
Right there.
This person.
Best gift giver I've ever met in my life.
Really?
Yep. And I'm gonna take all the information from her brain.
Wait a minute.
She didn't know I was going to do this. She's blushing. Look how red you are. I'm going to find out the information, and then I'm going to share it with everybody. Okay. That's what we're going to do. It's pretty. It's good.
Yeah. I was looking. You had question marks of what the next podcast.
Yeah, I had a secret plan. So we're all surprising each other on this podcast this time.
That'll be a lot of fun.
That'll
hey,
be good.
If you haven't, be sure to subscribe. We're on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll get notifications.
Do that. Yeah.
It's really fun. I turned notifications on for the first time on YouTube.
After I just talked about turning notifications off.
Only for this channel.
Oh, you're brilliant.
Once a month. That's
Come
all I
on,
get.
once a month.
Not too bad.
And leave a review for us. That would be awesome.
We're iPersonalities, so we love to hear feedback.
Come on.
Yeah.
This is the November podcast, and November is Positive Feedback Month.
Are you serious?
No, I made it up. I made it up just now. So would you leave positive feedback on all of our social apps, and that's what this month is about.
We're not supposed to go.
No, well, you can go on social media for like 30 seconds, leave a great feedback, and then you're done.
Yeah. What else you got? What else are we supposed to do?
Like and subscribe, and you can find this podcast wherever they're sold. Would you tell a friend about it? And thank you. Thank you for taking the time to listen and laugh with us and saying no out loud and raising your hand. And thanks for being a participant.
Can you do me a favor? Will you clear your voice?
Oh, not in the mic? Sorry.
Hey, that's all we have for you today. I'm your host, Justin, and for Kevin and myself, thanks for listening to Life and Gear Podcast, where truth leads to joy and adventure.
I sounded like that horse. This is Ed.
Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed. Oh, my goodness.